When the world celebrated the 500th birthday of Dr. Martin Luther, an amazing and incredible discovery was made. There was one surviving classmate of our church's founder. Since then, this distinguished gentleman has been traveling worldwide to share his experiences of studying with Dr. Luther. We are fortunate to have him with us tonight. Please help me to welcome the exciting, enthusiastic, effervescent, and very old Dr. Lester Methuselah Guttenberg.
Words cannot express the excitement I feel at this moment. My name is Lester Methuselah Gutenberg, and I am Luther's last surviving classmate. I was born on August 21, 1481, 11 years before Columbus discovered Ohio, Missouri, and other states. I'm 518. Boy, am I tired. But as you can see, I'm also extremely excited. This is only my second visit to America. The first time I came here was in 1847. I was invited to teach a confirmation class near Fort Wayne, Indiana. And I was amazed to learn on being invited to be with you this evening that one member of my confirmation class in 1847 was going to be here. It's sure great to see Gloria Edwards again. Of course, I knew her as Gloria Meyer. She was just 12 then. And the reason I remember her among all the others that I taught that year is because of a Bible story she wrote as one of the assignments for her class. I asked each member of the class to write from memory their favorite Bible story, and I brought hers along to read to you now. It's called The Prodigal Samaritan. And it came to pass in those days, once upon a time, far, far away, a long time ago, that Hadad had two sons, Frank and Ben. They were shepherds, and one day while they were in the same country, biding their time, Ben said unto himself, "These sheep stinketh." I will ask my father for my share of the inheritance and tour Europe. So Ben, son of Hadad, went even unto the place where his father was, and said unto him, Hadad, give me everything up to half of your kingdom. When his brother heard it, it made Frank incensed. He murmured, He did a slow burn, and the smoke did not rise straight up. But he obeyed his father and sat Ben on his ass. And Frank called that place Egypt, for he said, "This is where my brother Egypt me." This took place when King David was prime minister. Now David was advanced in years and had hypothermia, but she had cold feet. Now David watched his neighbor's alcoholic wife, Beersheba. Beersheba was sitting on her tuffet, eating curds and whey. David spied her and sat down beside her. Now Beersheba tempted him with an apple. David loved apples. David loved Jonathan apples the best. Now Ben, son of Hadad, was going down to Jericho to catch the exodus to Tarshish. He came upon a group of Pharisees and said unto them, "Why is your countenance downcast? Why is your visage marred?" And they said unto him, "What? And Ben said, "How's come you're sad?" And the Pharisees said unto them, "We Pharisees are sad, you see." Because of all of the aberrations in the church today, you can hardly even buy a kosher pickle. Now, as Ben journeyed on, he was set upon and robbed by Ali Baba and the 40 thieves. They took his inheritance, his clothes, and even his sesame seed buns. And it came to pass that there passed by that way Samson. Samson was a pillar of the church. But seeing Ben, passed by on the other side. Next came another man. He was wearing Levi's. He too passed by on the other side. Next came another man. It was the eunuch of Ethiopia. His driver Jehu was driving furiously. Their eyes fell on Ben. They had great compassion on him and took him to Jericho to the Holiday Inn. But there was no room in the inn, because Joshua had just begun a series of 7 rock concerts. So the eunuch took Ben home to his father. They were so happy to see him, they killed the fatted calf. Ben's mother, Delilah, was a good hairdresser, but a terrible cook. She brought the burnt offering before them. Hadad and Ben ate of it and felt ill. So Hadad built a mound of stones there and called the place Seth-ma-pi-lezer, which means, I have eaten what my wife has placed before me, and now I think I will throw up. But the main reason I'm so excited to be with you this evening is to share some of the experiences I had being Dr. Luther's classmate. Dr. Luther and I studied at the University of Erfurt. We used to call it the U of Earth. Good old Earth U. We talked a lot. Actually, he talked a lot. Mostly at the table. My mother said to me, "Lester, don't you talk with your mouth full." Luther's mother never told him that. But Luther was a real good friend to me. He knew I had 3 strikes against me. The first one was my birthplace. I was born in Worms. Well, how would you like it? People say, "Where do you come from?" Worms. We lived next door to Tetzel's pretzel shop. They sold pretzels, bagels, and live bait. There was a sign in the window that said, "Come in and indulge yourself." But I had a second strike against me, too. I was a slow learner. My father knew it the moment he saw me when I was born, and he was, like Zechariah of old, dumbfounded. So he took a slate and wrote on it, "His name shall be called less, for we expected more." All during my boyhood, I dreamed of going fast. I used to dream about being Superman, flying over worms. I could hear people saying, "It's a Vogel, it's a Flugzeug. No, it's super gut." Then I'd wake up and realize they were saying, "It's a turtle. It's a snail. No, it's motionless." The third strike I had against me was my older brother, Johann Gutenberg. He invented the printing press. I had to live in his shadow. I was slow. He was the movable type. Well, I was held back. He kept pressing on. Personally, I think Johann's books were kind of gross. Excuse my German, I mean large. Take this one, for example. You know what it is? It's huge. Volume 1 of Luther's Small Catechism. There were 57 of us at Erfurt. Luther was 30th in his class. Dr. Heinz was our professor. I was okay, so you already heard I was 57. Dr. Heinz said, each one of us was one of a kind, 57 varieties. He suggested a catch-up class for me. But it was then that Luther really befriended me. He said to me, Lester, you might be stupid, but that's not wrong. And I said to him, what does this mean? He said, you might be slow, but you'll probably last longer than all of us. I said, do you really mean it? And he said, this is most certainly true. That summer, we both had experiences that changed our lives. For him, it was a thunderstorm. For me, I was walking home from school one day. It was cleaning day. The streets were narrow. People were throwing out their garbage and emptying their slop buckets. All of a sudden, it hit me. I said, if I ever get out of this, I'm going into alchemy. When I got home and told my parents, my dad said, that's garbage. Even my mother said I was all wet. So for a while I ran a fast food outlet in Hamburg. Well, I developed a round beef patty and put it in a Kaiser bun. Called it a Frankfurter. It never caught on. Now in retirement, I'm being asked to take the place of Martin Luther on those statues at the seminary. Because, you know, they have to be removed for cleaning once in a while. I never actually knew why, till I accepted the job. It's those pigeons. First there's one pigeon, and then that pigeon tells another pigeon. Pretty soon you're surrounded by pigeons. Gives a whole new meaning to the word stool pigeon. I'll tell you, a bird in the hand is a lot worse than two in the bush. I'm also doing a little bit of writing. I've written a biography of Dr. Luther, and that's what I was asked to share with you this evening. I wrote it in first grade prose because my English isn't well. And I was told that there might be some pastors here and I should keep it simple. Look and see. If I go too fast for any of the pastors, see Luther run. Run, Luther, run. Lutheran. It is raining. It is pouring. See the lightning. See the thunder. Ach, jammer, says Luther. I am scared. I think I will wait under that big tree and pray to St. Anne, says Luther. If you save me, I will be a monk, okay? Says Luther. It's okay with me, says St. Anne. But if you don't get away from that tree, you will be a friar. See the lightning hit the tree. See the tree get rent asunder. See Luther clearly define law and gospel. See Luther go to the monastery. It is Augustinian. He does not like Benedictine. He likes beer. See Luther read Romans. See him discover that indulgences are wrong, wholly unnecessary, says Luther. I think I will write 95 theses, says Luther. I will nail them on the church door. See Luther bang his hammer. Bang your hammer, Luther. Bang your hammer. See Luther bang the wrong nail. Oofda. Says Luther. Oh, now the Pope is mad. See the Pope send Luther a message. It is a papal bull. See the bull arrive. That is a lot of bull, says Luther. Do you know what Luther is doing? Does Luther know what he is doing? He is barbecuing the Pope's bull. You burn my bull, says the Pope. Now you are going to a diet of worms. A diet is a long meeting with no supper. See King Charles tell Luther to shut up. No, says Luther, I can't. Then recant, says Charles. I can't recant either, says Luther. Then go start the Missouri Synod, says Charles. Oh, goody, says Luther. That means I can get married. See Luther look for a wife. See him find none. See Luther give Katie a freedom ring. See Luther and Katie get married. See Katie get morning sickness. See Luther worry. Thou shalt not worry, says Katie. What does this mean? Asks Luther. We should have a Lutheran soon, says Katie. Is this true, Kitty, or are you just ribbing me? This is most certainly true. Oh, goody, says Luther. Let freedom ring, says Luther. Let freedom ring. Thank you.